This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Join Moss and Miller Lite at Jimmy's in Vadnais Heights this Thursday from 5 to 7. Stop by for your final shot to register for a chance to win a spot in the Vikings Foundation Golf Tournament. Get the full details now at KFAN.com, keyword golf.
Well, the legendary Mark Rosen joins us here on the Common Man program. Now, let me ask you a question.
So I got some news for you.
You've got your Timberwolves gear on. You're excited about it.
I do. I worked out today, and I just kept it on, and it has nothing to do with the Denver game tonight.
Were you with the Fitness King?
No, that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I was. Now listen, you've been chiding me about this forever, but I guess I can make the announcement. It's official. Chicago, here we come.
April Fools.
No, Karin got a job as a chief legal officer with the Vikings, with the Bears, and I'm going to be hosting the Ben Johnson Weekly Podcast in Chicago.
Ben Johnson?
Is that his name?
Oh, the
Bears coach.
Oh, the Bears coach.
Bears
I thought you meant our former.
No. So I mean, this has all been happening behind the scenes, and
come on. If it's an April Fool's joke, go ahead and say it's an April Fool's joke.
How would I tell you that? Because
it's an April Fool's joke.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it! I can't keep I can't keep it down.
Yeah.
Oh well, I tried. No, we're not.
That's somewhat believable.
Actually, it was.
Well, it's going to happen eventually.
Well. Boy, I wish I could talk about stuff. Man, I just can't.
Why can't you?
Because Karin would kill me. I don't want her. I love her too much.
Well,
I don't want to.
You're closer to the end than the beginning, so she kills you.
No, it's not about me.
Years.
It's about her. It's about I mean, she's Tana knows this. She's married. He's married to an attorney. You know, there's client. Attorney privilege, and you just can't say anything. I mean, I hear things.
So you're acknowledging she tells you, though.
What's that?
You're acknowledging she tells you things.
Well, no, she really doesn't.
Oh.
She really, not the important stuff. I mean, if it was about Kwesi's contract or A-Raj, a bid for A-Raj on the desk or something, no, she wouldn't tell me. I'm going to see her tomorrow. We're having a big event at the Vikings facility at the museum about flag football, and the Israeli team is coming, and a bunch of other stuff going on, so I'm going to be hosting that. But that's different. No. So anyway, how are you? Yeah, I'm wearing my Timberwolves sweats. I just hadn't put them on, but no Nas tonight, no Dante tonight.
You like this club?
Well, I mean, they're gonna. Their bench strength will be tested tonight against Denver. I mean, it's a big game. Every game is a big game. They're
all big at this time.
They're all big at this time. Whether they play Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday night,
Thursday.
And I heard Malone's comments. I'm like, come on, man.
Well, he's true. He's just
playing harder against.
Well,
they just don't match up well against Minnesota. I mean, that might be it too.
No, and he also said what the part you're conveniently leaving out is he said his scouting team watches the Wolves.
I understand that,
and they can tell they're not. They confirmed everything I've been saying, and people are mad at me because I'm the old. It's like is it the wolf in the hen's house or what is it? What am I? It's like they're shooting the messenger. It's like I'm just telling you when you have teams say they tried hard.
Right.
We've had players on the Wolves publicly say it to the media, the other team tried harder than we did.
We've seen perfect examples the last couple of weeks where they played undermanned teams and lost to them here at home. But other than Oklahoma City, you can say that about just about every other NBA team. When you have an 82 game,
right.
I'm not saying it makes it right, but it's human nature and it happens.
But it shouldn't happen because you're charging exorbitant funds for people. You're cheating the public.
Do you think if you're cheating the public, then don't bench guys for maintenance days.
Do you think the guy that's doing Macbeth says, you know what, I'm just not going to put much into my... Now, let me answer the question.
Yeah.
Do you think the guy doing Macbeth, He's playing Macbeth.
Right.
Is that the lead character in Macbeth?
Well,
he's playing. Do you think, or is Macbeth? Beth would be a.
I'm not a
lady.
big Shakespeare guy. I went to go see a play. I went to go see Mousetrap.
I think Macbeth is an actress.
At the Guthrie the other day. So
anyway, do you think who plays the lead in the Mousetrap goes? I think I'll mail it in today and not give it. No, he gives it everything he's got.
Right. Well, yeah, I've said that many times when you've gone to, let's say, you've invested X amount of dollars and you spend 3 months waiting to get tickets. Like right now, George Clooney is, I think, appearing on Broadway or about to start in Good Night, Good Luck, the movie that was made. Edward R. Murrow, and then there's
Good Night, Good Luck.
Yeah, and if you went there after buying tickets and for whatever reason you got the program and here it is appearing for George Clooney tonight is Abner Doubleday, and I'm going, wait, what? As his understudy. When there'd be many cases like that. So, yeah, I think the bigger problem is, and I know the NBA's tried to crack down on it a little bit, is when the players get these maintenance days. And I'm thinking, well, it goes back to the old Joe DiMaggio thing when he was playing day after day after day, and in the heat of the summer and whatever. And
yeah, but
so I don't know the effort's there, but it's also guys who just take days off because they just feel like it. And that's not right because you're cheating the fans.
Twins did it yesterday.
The Twins haven't played an inning yet.
No. What I mean is they pulled Buxton and Correa out of the lineup because I have to save them for another game.
Well,
they
in this
ran
case,
up the white flag when they were down 9-0
in like the fourth inning. I think Buxton had one at bat. I'm not making this up. I have watched. Because I've been trying to pay attention. I think I've watched 2 innings so far of the season.
And here you were complaining about not being able to watch the game. And you only watched 2 innings. What's wrong with you?
Because they are unwatchable right now. I mean, when you're down, if it's like one thing, the Twins and the Brewers are off to the worst starts in Major League Baseball right now. The Brewers are also getting killed. It's not a matter of losing. They're 0-4. If you were competitive into the 5th inning or 6th inning, you go, okay, maybe they got a chance. I watched some of it.
How would you describe a Major League Baseball season?
A marathon.
Not a sprint. So give them time.
Well, I'm not saying they're not going to come back from this. They
need to start. Give them time to gel, Mark.
I understand that. But as Betty would say, and you played it earlier, Mark, they can't pitch. They can't hit.
What's going on here?
I mean, it's one thing to lose. I know we're switching gears from the Timberwolves to the Twins. But it's if you could, the Twins could have picked a worse scenario to start the season because of everything else that's gone on, and then throw in the weather we're having when they're coming back to town on Thursday, and it's snowing out right now, so look out your window. I know the Saints are supposed to play here tonight. This is it. Playing a horrible White Sox team that I think are starting a Double-A pitcher tonight in Chicago. And then you play St. Louis. St. Louis is okay. They're nothing great. They haven't spent a lot of money. The fans in St. Louis are upset because they haven't kind of recaptured the glory years they've had and gone out and tried to compete with the best teams.
They're 3-0.
I know, but I'm just saying. But basically, a year ago they were not. But the Twins weren't even competitive. They look like, I mean, they look like a single A team coming off a pretty good, spring training. Everyone's talking the right stuff and blah, blah, blah. Other than Royce Lewis, injuring his hamstring, running to first base in 85-degree weather. They get the pitching staff, and they haven't played a half a game yet. And I'm just going, you've got to be kidding me. So anyway, I mean, yeah, of course it's a marathon. I understand that. I've watched enough seasons over my entire life to know they'll probably snap out of it. But, you asked me at the beginning. That's why, I picked Kansas City to win the division. I just don't know if the Twins are, number one, I think they have.
You love Bobby Witt, don't you?
I love him. But they made improvements to their team again. And the Twins are, and then I read that, I did watch Bailey Ober's pitching performance the other day, and he didn't last too long. And then you read that he was vomiting the day before. And
he's a tough guy. It's baseball.
And it's like,
step up.
Weak and this and that. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not there. What Rocco understands it. He's got a baseball player's mentality. Why is he pitching? I mean,
I don't think he should have been either.
I don't understand why a guy is like, that week. And I understand a pitcher going, give me the ball, I'm ready to go.
Right.
Of course, every athlete will do that, unless...
Because otherwise their manhood will be challenged. So
Correct.
I got to play.
Correct.
I can play through anything.
Right.
No, you can't. Go sit down.
So anyway, we're going back
Sounds
and forth
like you're
here.
done with this.
No, but I'm just saying, we've talked so much about this, trying to get people to generate enthusiasm about this team, and then, the TV, again, the TV thing was last week, and where you're going to be able to watch them, and, there's always something, I think, special about the opening of a Major League Baseball season. Hope springs eternal. We know that, right? It's a great sign of spring.
The bunting's out, the flyover.
You got it all. I mean, you got the history of the game, Field of Dreams, the whole 9 yards. And they come out and play 4 games like this, especially against a team like the White Sox, who are just the dredges of the earth, baseball-wise. And we'll see what happens tonight.
The Twins cast off, no-hit him for 6 innings. Perez.
That's right.
He no-hit him for 6
Didn't throw a pitch over 92 miles an hour.
Didn't need to.
No, why would they? So I don't know. I mean, yeah, of course they can snap out of it. They could get back to 500, a week and a half. And in a division that's not, they're not playing the Yankees, thank God. The Yankees with their new torpedo bats or whatever they're using.
You know what the Twins are using?
Except for arrow.
They're called lacrosse bats. They've taken lacrosse sticks and they've taken the nets off them.
That's good stuff.
Thanks.
See that for Flop, Sweat, and Tears Friday night.
It's sold out, by the way.
I heard you talking about that.
Sold out.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to another sellout. I'll be down in Mankato with Lawyer Lambert seeing the one and only your guy, Bob Dylan, Friday night. I'm pretty excited about that. Otherwise, I'd be there with you.
I'm sure you would. I wonder if Bob will sell out.
I think it's pretty well sold out.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. It's at the Mankato Civic Center.
See if you can get tickets to Bob Dylan.
Well, you can get them on secondary market.
Well, you can't get them on you can't get Flop, Sweat, and Tears on a secondary market.
So if I went on StubHub, I couldn't find them?
Nope.
Wow.
We're sold out.
Well, sold out is sold out, but people may want to make a profit.
We are sold out.
What do the tickets go for?
I don't know.
$25,
I don't
whatever?
set the ticket price. Yeah, probably $25 I did. We're sold out.
What does it seat? 30?
Well, maybe not quite as much as Dylan's venue.
Hey, listen, that's great. I'm happy for you guys. It's good.
130.
Oh, wow. That's how many seats, or how much you're charging?
No. 130 seats.
There's 2 tickets available for $157 each.
For
Bob Dylan?
Yeah. Well, probably a little higher in the nosebleeds.
Are there any in the box office, though? Or is that strictly secondary market? Or is that box office?
Well, it says StubHub, so I'm assuming that's secondary market.
Secondary. I'm sure it's sold out. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm happy Dylan's in Minnesota. I don't know how he picks venues and cities, because one would think Dylan, especially coming off the success of the movie, and that he would be playing at, if not Target Center, XL. I'm not saying he's going to fill U.S. Bank. I don't think he's not that kind of a performer, or the Orpheum or whatever, but Mankato, it's kind of a different.
He's one of those guys.
Different.
He's always on tour. He's never not on tour. He's always on tour.
83.
So he's got a lot of different places, a lot of places to play.
Yeah,
so I just think probably pick Mankato because he hasn't been there, and
wow,
thought it'd be fun. Would be my guess. We got plenty to get to.
Boy, do we! Well, we just we started to scratch the surface.
We scratched the surface, but we're going to dig down deep here on the other side of the break. It's Common 10 to be and the legendary Mark Rosen here on the Fan. Keep getting text people going, when are you going to give away those impossible to get comedy tickets? You can't get them at the box office anymore. They're sold out at Sticks.
Where's this at? I don't know where that's located.
Sticks Tavern inside the Dahlgreen Golf Course in Chaska.
Oh, okay.
It's a great comedy venue.
Wonderful.
They've been doing shows there for a while now, and it's like it's the toughest ticket in town. And that's all I can tell you.
No.
The toughest ticket in town.
Man.
And you doubted us.
I never doubt you. I was.
All of you doubted that we could sell tickets to comedy.
I've been privy to be a part of two of your shows, and especially the second one in Mankato.
You brought the house down, standing ovation.
That was a kick, and people asked me. I said, "Well, that was a bucket list moment." I would do it again, but
You would?
Yeah, I would.
We got room for you Friday night.
Well, no, you don't have room for me Friday night.
Sure,
you're sold out, and I'm going to Dillon Friday night.
Right.
Yeah, so head down to Cato.
I had somebody just text at the Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line. They would rather see Dylan, the old traffic guy, than Bob Dylan. This is Dylan.
I'm Dylan.
I've never been, and I know you've been doing Dylan duets for a long time. Mm-hmm. I will firmly admit I've never been a huge fan.
Right.
But I have had such utter respect for his incredible career and what he's done, and his
body of work is like
it's astonishing. And
he's was it the Nobel laureate? What did he win?
Yes, yeah.
I
don't think he even showed up to pick up the prize.
No.
And I know that his family from Hibbing, Zimmerman, Bobby Zimmerman. And until I saw Complete, I saw the movie, and that rekindled everything about his youth, of course, and Joan Baez, the whole 9 yards, and going from folk singer to electric guitar when he was. I mean, all the controversy involved with him, but then I saw he was coming. I went, God, how often do you get a chance to see someone like that? At this point, it was. He works
364 days a year, so there is a lot of chances.
Well, not in Minnesota. There's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not like he's coming back to his home state and performing that often here, and is engaging.
You'll give us a review then on Tuesday, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I probably won't wait that long. I'm sure we'll post something. Lawyer Lambert and I like to post. When we're together doing our stuff. Yeah.
Teneby, did you see this? I hear the NFL has made another decision on rules. They are going to switch from chain gangs to camera-based technology.
Yeah, I saw that.
Seriously?
That is now official. The traditional chain crew will remain on the sidelines in a secondary capacity, I guess, in case the technology
So everything's going to be with
Plunk.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
They're going to look at the ball. Well, they kind of have that technology now.
To me, I don't know, how will the camera-based technology work? Because I remember my dad, earlier Teneby and I were talking about, earliest childhood memories. And I remember my dad saying many, many years ago, and I couldn't have been like more than 5 or 6 years old, he just rolled his eyes, shrugged his shoulders, and shook his head on the ball placement that the refs put down in the measuring chains, going,
right.
How do they know exactly? There's no way that,
no.
And I don't even know how does it count, because if all of a sudden you have, it's 4th and a half yard, and you do, maybe not even the push, but the quarterback jumps,
right.
Mass of humanity. And how is the camera going to be able to see that better than the official? Than the officials?
Who's guessing pretty much? I mean, it's not a perfect science. To me, it's still
is it a perfect science? Will they be able? Will the camera be able to show exactly where that's what I don't know.
It's not going to be able to see where you go down with the ball, but it's going to see where the exact marker is for the first down.
Okay.
Right, like right now, it's kind of an inexact science.
It is, but that's again. That's
and then you got to pause the game for 30 seconds to have the chain gang walk out and set up the chains.
Well, this day and age, and you guys have talked about it, I think you did in particular. I mean, we watched with the Final Four coming up this weekend, and just the sheer number of replays we have, at the end of a game, which can now, we always laugh about, it used to be like the 2-minute warning in football, and you go, you get ready to go out for dinner, and you go, oh, honey, I'll be right there. And then it's like a half hour later, and you think it's still not over. Well, it's getting like that with these college basketball games. Every single moment they got to run over to the board, to the replay screen, and who touched the ball last, went off with somebody's little pinky, or it's.
I'm in the minority. I'm all for it because I want to get it right. You would hate to work. How about let's go to the Final Four, and let's say on Saturday there's a critical call and they don't review it, and then a team lost the ball. They should have had it on the lost ball. Other team gets it, makes the game-winning shot, game over, and you go back and look at it in the replay and say, well, no, that team would have had the ball and probably would have won the game. Don't you want to get it right?
You want to get it right, but at the same time, there was a play. Which game was it? Where the guy looked like he charged right into the opposing player and knocked him on his butt, and they didn't call an offensive foul. Where you think to yourself, if that was the middle of the game, 99 out of 100 times would have called that an offensive foul, and they don't call it. I mean, it's like that. pretty much, I think the human element is still important. I agree in principle they want to get it right, especially if the ball goes out of bounds somewhere. But even in the NBA games, I mean, I was at the game the other night with the melee, if you want to call it that, and the number of times that people are either griping the officials or then they're going to the replay and they're showing it on the big screen, and I don't know. It just gets the game on.
And here's the other thing, like. Tennessee, those end zone cameras, they don't have many of them because the league has a finite budget.
I always love that.
That's funny.
Isn't that what Greg Coleman said? What was that imposter statement?
Yes.
I think was that it?
They don't have all the cameras because they're on a finite budget.
They can't afford it.
Well,
and amazingly, that didn't win.
Well, it used to be where, like, say the Vikings were not very good or whatever. Take your Lions when they were the Lions before they became the new Lions. They wouldn't have.
We call them Kings of the North.
For now.
That's what PA likes to go with. Kings of the North.
But they'd have the C announcing crew, and they wouldn't have as many cameras at the game because it's just, and so you wouldn't have the opportunity to have as many replays as you do for, the nationally televised game later that day. And it cuts down the opportunities to get it right. But that's just the way it is.
Here's two things. I want to talk one more thing about the change with the cameras rather than the chain game. This one says Rosen said he was never a huge fan of Dylan, but he always respected him.
Yeah.
And now he decided it was a good time to see him. If you translate that from Rosenese to English, it's Lawyer Lambert bought the tickets.
No, I bought the tickets, actually. I bought the tickets.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Jeff and I are, I'm going to drive too. I'm going to be his chauffeur, his Uber driver down to Mankato. Yeah.
Very good.
We'll have dinner down there and we got it all planned out. Yeah. So mind your own beeswax.
Where are you having dinner?
None of your business. In Mankato. Plenty of good restaurants there.
Oh.
Yeah. Where was it? We were at the Mankato, was there the place? The historical.
The Cato Ballroom.
Cato Ballroom, yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Karen's not coming, right?
No, she's leaving. She's going to visit her niece in Amsterdam.
Just say no, she's going to stay home.
She's going to stay home.
Is she going to stay at the condo or Kowalski's?
Well, you can always find me there. I was there yesterday.
Practically lived there.
Boy, the salmon was so good last night for dinner. Tonight we're having chicken breast, so it's great.
Good for you. We'll take a break. One more segment to go here on the Common Man program on the Fan. You've spent your entire life in Minnesota. Spread your wings, branch out, go to Chicago.
Dun, dun, dun,
go to New York. Go live somewhere else. You don't just because your roots have been planted here for all this.
Well, that's why we love traveling. You get out, from this nonsense I'm looking out the window at right now on April 1st. That's the April Fool's joke. But I've lived here my whole life. It snows in the middle of April, so you got to get used to it. It happens. It's not going to last.
Watch the phone lines light up.
What's that?
Flop, Sweat, and Tears tour continues Friday at Styx Tavern in Dahlgreen.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
This show is sold out. Why are you laughing? It's sold out.
I just think it's... No, congratulations is our order.
We've got your chance for a way in, though.
So you have tickets that you can't get on StubHub. You can't get secondary market anywhere.
Be caller 11 right now to catch all the knee-slapping, side-splitting humor.
Yeah, but who's appearing? It's a new comedian? Who's auditioned?
Sauce, Common, and Larry Mondello guy.
Okay, I'm still waiting for the additional
call now.
Comic.
1-800-320-5326. 1-800-320-5326.
I went to Target yesterday and decided...
I went to Target.
All you do is rip me for an hour and call it humor.
I went to Target to get athletic socks and came home with Home Alone 2 on Blu-ray DVD.
Larry Mondello talks about his six daughters, and it's sort of like when I went to see
Light, the whole thing.
When I went to go see Jim Gaffigan a few weeks ago. He's got a lot of he's got like 6 kids, and he tells all.
Well, here's what I'll tell you.
Family stories, which are really
Larry
funny.
Mondello guy has been described as a fat Jim Gaffigan.
I heard you say.
As a fat
by Larry Mondello guy.
He says that about himself.
Yeah, I love it.
Look at those phones ringing up for people wanting to be part of the side.
There are lots of things to do in town on Friday night. But
yep.
Go get them.
Someone said Surf Ballroom in Mankato. No, the Surf Ballroom is where Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper and...
You talking about where they appeared?
Yeah, they appeared. That was in Clearwater. No,
Clear Lake.
Clear Lake,
wasn't it?
Iowa. That's where the Surf Ballroom is. The Surf Ballroom is right in Mankato. God, there was something else I wanted to say. It was a cheap shot too.
Well, of course it was,
but I can't remember what it was. Oh, why don't you? Here's what I wanted to say. You know what I will miss though? See, you know what I like about the chain gang part of it?
Yeah. Even
if it's not as inexact as this camera will be.
Mm-hmm.
I love when they bring it out there in the anticipation and they pull the chain.
Right.
And it either doesn't make it or does, and there's a roar from the crowd. Like, let's say it's the hometown team and the first down's good. The anticipation. I missed that part of it. That was part of the fun. They want to eliminate that.
No,
it was fine the way it was.
It was, and give those guys something to do, and they're an important facet of the game. I see they're going to have a new kickoff rule, and so now it's going to be the art of you don't really want to kick the ball through the end zone because
they get to start at the 35. That's
a hell of an advantage.
It's 5 yards more.
So now you're going to have guys just practicing kicking the ball to like the 5-yard line. I mean, the special teams are going to be really important.
I think even last year there was an increase in kickoff returns from the old rule. But they want even more. They don't think it was even enough, is what I think, if I read it right. So, and I think it will. I mean, I've stated before, and I guess my thought was I would rather have the team return it all the time because I'd like to give myself a chance, if I have a good special teams, to stop them at like the 15 or the 20-yard line. Not even the 30 too much was given up to ground. And I thought you can force turnovers. Now, I think Brett looked up the numbers for me. I think it was when Tenby was on vacation. So I think it was Brett looked up Brett or Zacho looked up numbers. And it was last year 7 kickoff returns and only 2 fumbles.
Right.
So there were more kickoff returns than fumbles. So that would be the argument against what I thought would be it. But I still like the idea of my special teams trying to stop the team inside the 20-yard line, which I think can happen a lot. But
the reason they did this was safety reasons, and now they're going back to now it's going to be more of an emphasis on your return guy because he will have more opportunities to return kickoffs. And I know they also changed, you guys talked about it, the overtime rule, which is a good thing. They're having, the 1 10-minute overtime session. And if you score a touchdown and there's still time left on the clock, the other team will have that much time to come back. The game does not end if you score a touchdown. The only way it ends is if you literally score like on the last play of the 10 minutes. You don't keep going. You could literally try to have a 10-minute drive, score a touchdown, game's over. But otherwise, the other team will get a chance. Think how far they've come since the debacle, when they changed the rule after 2000, when the Vikings lost to the Saints in the NFC Championship game. They lost the coin toss. Saints go down, kick a field goal, game's over.
I've always thought they should let both teams get the ball regardless. Well, I've always thought it was. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I won't go into the long rambling dissertation about it. I think they should play a 10-minute overtime. No, they should play a 10-minute overtime just like regular NFL rules. So if a team gets the ball, punts, the other team gets the ball, kicks a field goal, there's 4 minutes left in overtime, keep playing.
Well, they are going to do that.
No. Now will be they're not going to play the whole 10 minutes. What'll happen is if a team just
scores a touchdown.
Last year it was before. Now it's going to be each team gets to have the ball, and whoever scores wins the game.
It's the same as the new playoff rule. They just know it expanded it to the regular season.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And I think it should be 10-minute quarter played just like it's a fifth quarter.
Yeah.
That's the way I would do it. Because now you change the strategy of the game.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I still don't. I mean, this is probably an improvement. I think both teams should have
nothing new on the tush push yet. No. They've tabled that for a while.
Yeah. They have to
I think they're going to keep that, I would assume.
You must be excited about the women's basketball team, the Gophers. They're the Whibbit championship game.
Good for them.
Is the championship or just the Final Four? I think it's the Final Four, right?
Well, the championship is it?
Is it the championship game they got into? Okay,
I think they're playing. I think they're playing Wednesday night. Well, Gargi probably. I'm sure.
Will you be there?
No, they're playing it. They're not. They're out of town somewhere.
Okay.
They're playing at 5:00 against Belmont.
You
know, they've been doing this without their best player all year, Mara Braun. Too. So it's good for them. They have an opportunity to keep going and playing. And I mean, we always talk about situations like with the NIT before with men's basketball. I don't know how many players they have coming back, but this certainly isn't a bad experience for them to kind of push forward. How much momentum will that create for next year? Well, the roster's changing all the time. I don't think a lot, but doesn't hurt. And good for them.
Will you be watching?
I don't know if I can find it. Sure, I can.
It's on a television station.
Well, actually, I'm not. No, I have a commitment tomorrow at 5:00.
Really?
Yeah, at the Vikings Museum. I was mentioning. Yeah, I'm hosting a big event out there. Yeah, for a flag football. It's going to be a big thing in the NFL sponsor in the Olympics 2028 in LA. But there's an Israeli team coming to town, U17, and they're having a big event out at the Vikings Museum that I'm hosting tomorrow with a bunch of dignitaries, et cetera, et cetera.
So you're excited about it?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Sports anchor Joe Schmidt announces his retirement. He's leaving KSTP.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, good for Joe. I mean, I know Randy Shaver posted a picture of the three of us that we took quite a while ago. And it was really
emotional.
Well, it's emotional, but I mean, Joe was the last of us, the big three, as you want to say. Is
that what they called you guys, the big three?
Well, I'm just saying, from a longevity standpoint, people can interpret it any way they want. But it's certainly highly unusual in any sports market, in any market, to have your three main guys be the kind of the main people for as long as the three of us were. So I know Joe's got a lot of good stuff going on the side. Includes, I know he did a book with Joe Mauer. I think they're turning it into a play. He does a lot of public speaking, and he left for a while at Channel 5, went to go work for Petters, right? Sun Country. You know how that worked out. Not for him, but I mean, unfortunately, he was able to return to KSTP and did some news anchoring. But kudos. I congratulated Joe, and we were together a lot, the three of us, at a lot of different sports. Like Joe said it. I mean, we probably spent more time together than we did with our families, which is not a something we're proud of, but that's just the way the business works. So, good for him.
Is Joe in the paddock? Do you know? If he's not, he will be.
I'm not sure. I really don't know.
If he's not, he will be.
He should be. Yeah, well deserved. I mean,
another guy that'll be on the inside looking out, and I'll just be on the outside looking in.
It's sort of like a dream Mickey Mantle. I was privy to being at a lunch with Mickey Mantle. He told us about that recurring dream he had where after his career, he'd be on the outside of the Yankee Stadium and he'd be looking inside and seeing Yogi Berra and Whitey Ford and Moose Skowron and all these guys he played with, and he could not burrow his way in. He just could not, no matter how hard he tried. Me. And that's you outside the Pavic Museum.
Common, there still is 10 minutes. They could both score field goals or touchdowns and play until there's a tie or a win. Yeah, but if one team kicks a field goal, the other team scores a touchdown, the game's over then, right? Or do they play the full 10 minutes?
No, they're not playing the full 10 minutes. I don't think people are understanding what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm talking
Common is saying, you just play a 10-minute quarter, whoever scores how many points.
Yeah.
If it's still tied, I guess that's why they don't do it, because they don't want it to be a tie anymore.
The other team gets a chance.
It could be 17-14 after those 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's what I want to see. Play it like a regular. I don't like that. It's sort of like with hockey, where all of a sudden, okay, we're going to have 3-on-3, and then we're going to do a shootout. You've just changed the way the game is played. Same with the shootout in soccer. I don't like shootouts.
Penalty kicks. Not even so much.
What's next in the NBA? Play, an overtime when it doesn't work. Play a game of horse.
You and I were thinking the same thing. And Edwards against Jokic for the game, playing a game of horse. It's almost the equivalent when you think about it with the shootout in hockey.
What it is?
Yeah, it's such a gimmick.
Who would be our horse shooter? Would it be Ant for the Wolves?
I don't know, not the way he's been shooting 3-pointers lately, but I mean, if you're talking about variety of shots, because you're talking about trick shots and everything, you'd probably have to go with Ant because he's capable of so much more than probably anyone on the team.
Joe Schmidt retires and Rosen immediately makes it about himself with the photo of the big three.
I make it about myself.
So immediately said to start talking about you and being part of the big three.
I don't know who that is, but you know what? Bite me. I didn't tweet it out. Actually, Randy Shaver did. And you know what? This sounds like Sid. Sid used to go, what have you done for a living?
What have you done for a living, sir?
I did not tweet the picture out. I didn't make it about me. I'm saying that the person that, God, these people got to get a life.
I think it's so good.
Yeah. I did not tweet the picture out. And I would have if I had it, but I didn't have it. I mean, sometimes you take a lot of pride in the fact we had a career together. And even though we were competitors all the time, I mean, there was always mutual respect that we all had. And that's unusual in this business, especially in this radio station, in this very building where the insecurity is off the bleeping charts. I've never been around more insecure people than I have about radio people.
Really?
Oh my God. It's not even close compared to TV people.
You've never been fired before like me.
I just got fired. What do you think I'm doing here? Yes.
What do you mean you got fired?
Well, iHeart let me know I'm not employed here anymore. You knew that.
Well, why are you here? Oh my gosh.
Because I like working with you. I'm seriously not employed here.
Oh.
I don't have insurance with you. I don't have a salary anymore. I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart, and I really am.
Oh.
I like working with you.
It took you to 73 years old to get fired.
No, I got
fired my first radio job at 22 years old.
I got fired I was let go of WCCO radio.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Now you understand the insecurity. You always think that you think the hammer's going to fall.
Well,
TV, you get 40, 50 years over there.
Yeah.
Well, not always. No.
If Bob Dylan sings "Tangled Up in Blue," you'll hear him sing the song, and one day the axe just fell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wish people would understand. Why aren't you on the morning show anymore? Because iHeart nationally. This is not Chad Abbott. This is not Greg Swedberg. This is the people down in. And there are people, people who were let go in this building. That's just a fact. I talk about it.
All over the country.
Yeah, all over the country. That's just the way it is. Unfortunately, I've started this new podcast, which I'm thrilled about.
You have a podcast?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be, it's fun.
I didn't know about that.
Well, I'll mention it more than a few times.
Okay.
Talk North Podcast. You can find it on all. Yeah, it started
so you're gonna
this
do a
week.
podcast.
I'm doing that. You got a lot of things going on. And it just, you know what? You just, one door closes, another one opens. That's just the way life is, especially at my age. And
well, I'm touched.
Enjoying it.
You've decided to stay on because you like working with me.
That's the honest to God truth. 3 days a week. Yeah.
How about that, Tenneby? He likes working with me. Just the opposite effect I have on Tenneby. He hates working with me.
I would say it's fascinating. And I enjoy it. I mean, it's only an hour. I mean, it's come in at 2, leave at 3, and go home. That's it.
Schmidt, Rosie, Shaver, greater than Maddox, Smoltz, Glavin. Your thoughts?
We lasted longer. Yeah, that was quite a trio.
Schmidt, Rosie, Shaver, or Huntley, Brinkley, Cronkite is what I would say.
Wow. Oh, that's a group.
Were you more of a Huntley guy or a Brinkley guy?
I was more of a Cronkite guy.
No, but the two between Huntley.
Oh, I would say, it's a tough one because they had such distinctive deliveries.
I think most people preferred Brinkley, but I was more of a Huntley guy.
Yeah.
I think Brinkley went on to greater success on his own.
I think you're right. Yeah, I don't remember how that all ended individually for them. But I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, I'm no longer really employed here.
No, I realize that.
I got my card. My security card still works, so that's good.
Yeah.
But life goes on.
Yeah,
I'll come in next week to do the Masters pool pick. You got to give me a golfer to take because I don't want to do it on my own anymore because all I do is get bleep for taking someone that,
Take Minwoo Lee.
I did watch that on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's what I flipped over to watch the Twins game.
My theory is always...
No, you can't. There's like 10 guys that can win it.
You take the players that are, over the last few weeks, been playing, because golf is sort of like a roller coaster.
But isn't it Gus to change that a little bit? Now you got the live guys. How much do you trust the live guys?
Well, you can because because for them, there's extra motivation.
Right, I agree.
Because they are playing in pretty much, in the grand scheme of things, they're meaningless events that nobody really cares particularly that much about them. Plus, the thing with Augusta is it's not like the other majors where the venues always change. So everybody knows, I can guarantee you that those guys hit the same exact shots in every hole, every year, every round, because they play as much. They know where the trouble is. Okay, off number one, you got to hit a cut left to right, keep it out of the fairway bunker right. Number two, you hit a big high draw if you can. You hit certain different shots. On Sunday, if you're lucky enough to be playing on Sunday, you make the cut, and the pin placement's going to be right front. Right. You hit it to the left side of the green and just take your par. And so they all know. So that's the equalizer, I guess I'm saying, is that players know the course so well. The ones that have played there, a number of times, the old veterans, they know it. But so players that are golf is roller coaster-ish, right? Guys, they get on a roll, they play good for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, then all of a sudden their swing starts to get away from them, and then all of a sudden they go into a bit of a slump. Scotty Scheffler was just brilliant. He lost by a stroke. He's the number one ranked player in the world. He was out of it. Really, he was it 4, 6 shots out of the lead when he started the round, almost ended up winning. He's the number one player in the world. He's won 2 majors. That was his 6th event of the year. He's going to his 7th. I don't think anybody would be forced to take Scotty Scheffler if it comes down to that. Scheffler's a favorite. Min-Woo Lee, because he's playing well, and he finally did get, he hadn't won on this tour. He'd won a couple of those, or the DPS tour, whatever it is. He won a handful of times over there. He hadn't won here. He tried to give it away, didn't he? Won. And then you look at other players that have been playing. Well, you just have to look back on the last 4, 5, 6 tournaments and look at the players that have been playing well. Who was the guy, Tenby, that lost in the playoff? Rory. Rory just won the Players. Right. Rory wants this badly. He seems like he almost wants it too much and doesn't always play well here. Rory would be a guy to consider. Who was the guy Rory beat in the playoff?
Oh, my goodness.
I watched the entire turn. Well, I can't think of his name.
I can't either.
He would be another guy because he's playing well. So you take those guys. Then another strategy I like to do when I'm picking, especially if you're in this pool like you're in and you're like the 8th pick.
Right.
So all the favorites are gone. Then you start going for players who have either won there before or who always play well there. They seem to get a lot of top 10 finishes because they're comfortable with the golf course. They like playing in the Masters. So those are what I take into consideration. And
all right, well, I'll consult with you before
let's do that. I just got a text message that says, KFAN, this is all capitalized, KFAN wouldn't be the same without Rosen. Thanks for staying. And then there's a heart.
Well, everybody know that I'm still part-time, basically, part-time.
Well, so. Yeah, you're part-time.
But thank you. I apologize.
Which, by the way...
You were always kind of a part-time employee.
Okay, you know what?
You just beat me to it.
You did.
Because I was just going to say that.
I used to have to go down to, in day like this, I would down to my edit suite.
We'll see you, is today Thursday? No, it's Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow at 2
Thursday.
Tenby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
Hey, you as well. Parker Fox, he's hosting next here on the Fan.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.